It has nearly been 2 years since the release of the iPhone 16 lineup. I have right here the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which I've been using it for some time now, and today I'd like to take a look at it from the perspective of a user in 2026. Let's start off with the design. The color I have here on this model is white titanium, and yes, the iPhone 16 series is the last lineup of iPhones to use titanium before Apple switched back to aluminum with the 17 series in 2025. In terms of wear and tear, I'd say that the titanium has held up very well. I personally use a screen protector, so can't really say about the durability of the screen, but I've heard from real world users that the ceramic shield has held up great as well. As for the design itself, it looks great, like a beautiful premium modern iPhone, and of course without the camera island seen on the 17 Pro and the 17 Pro Max. So this could be a great option if you want to upgrade but don't like the 17 Pro Max's design. I also cannot believe how thin these bezels are when I first used the device, and I heard the 17 Pro Maxes are thinner too, so this is definitely a mind-blowing part. And the always-on display is also pretty neat. As for the display, it is a 6.9-inch Super Retina XDR OLED panel with a resolution of 2868 by 1320 at 400 pixels per inch. It comes along with ProMotion, so it can get all the way up to 120 Hz and then adjust it adaptively to save battery and system resources. Overall, the iPhone 16 Pro Max features an amazing display, everything from the sharpness and the brightness, which by the way peaks at 2000 nits outdoors, to the color accuracy is nearly perfect and is one of the best displays that I have ever used on any smartphone. Of course, the iPhone 16 Pro Max features a dynamic island with support for Face ID, which again works nice and fast as expected. And since many iOS apps nowadays support the dynamic island natively, it's actually very fun to use and interact with. Let's now talk about the camera control button. For this topic, I asked my good friend, as he's been using this 16 Pro Max much more longer than I have. And as far as his experience goes, he actually really enjoys it. A lot of people, when the phone initially launched in September 2024, was complaining that the camera control button was a gimmick and you'd accidentally end up touching it and activating the camera app. However, in this case, it's actually extremely useful, as if he wants to quickly take a photo or a video, instead of taking the phone out of the pocket, waking up the phone, and then going to the camera app, all you need to do is to tap on the camera control area. Since most people put their phones in a pocket with a camera bump at the deep end of it, and the camera control sits in the lower section of the phone and the phone is upside down, it is very easy to access, and again, surprisingly not prone to accidental touches either. Moving on to the camera, overall it's an amazing camera that can take solid photos and videos, whether it's in the morning with the sun out or at night with night mode. The videos are absolutely amazing, and it even feels that videos are better than the photos. Since this is an iPhone Pro Max, it supports Apple Pro RAW, allowing you to take photos in RAW and to have full control over color adjustments and professional edits. On the screen right now are some photos and videos that I've taken with the 16 Pro Max. Before we move on, I just want to outline you guys with some specs. The iPhone 16 Pro Max features 3 cameras in the rear, a 48 megapixel fusion main camera coupled with a 48 megapixel ultra wide and a 12 megapixel telephoto lens. As for the front, it is a 12 megapixel true depth camera with support for Face ID. In terms of video recording, it can go all the way up to 4K 120 FPS for both standard and slow-mo video with Dolby Vision, along with spatial audio recording, studio quality mics, and wind noise reduction, which are useful if you want to know about the audio capabilities. In addition, the iPhone 16 Pro Max supports cinematic video recording up to 4K 30 FPS alongside ProRes video recording. Okay, let's talk about the battery life. I can't personally say this as I've only been using this phone for this video, but my good friend has been using it for some time as a real-world user. So here is what he thinks about the battery and charging of the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Brother, what's up?
Yo, brother, how are you?
Doing great. And I just want to ask you about your opinion on the battery of the iPhone 16 Pro Max.
Battery, in my opinion, so over the lifespan that I've used it, it has gone down to 93% battery health. And even then, it can last me a comfortable full day. It can get me around 10 hours of screen on time, and it's really doing and holding up very well. in my day-to-day usage. So I will wake up around with 100% battery or around that range, and then I would sleep and then charge it at around 20 to 25% every day.
So that seems to be, it seems to have a great battery life, right?
Yes, but it does vary whatsoever. What I mean by that is like sometimes when I'm doing very intensive stuff, like if I'm playing some games or doing some recording in 4K, then it can drain significantly and it can get the screen on time to around only 6 hours. But that is, of course, foreseeable since we're doing very intensive tests.
So that's still perfect. And brother, thank you so much. Have a nice day, brother.
Of course, of course. Thank you, thank you.
Bye bye.
All right, all right.
Now let's talk about performance. The iPhone 16 Pro Max has the A18 Pro chip with a 6-core GPU, 6-core CPU, and a 16-core neural engine. In terms of benchmarks, the A18 Pro is the top 12 fastest smartphone chip as of late June 2026. However, these numbers don't really matter for the regular user, so how's the actual experience? I'd say pretty neat. While some users online suggest slowdowns with iOS 26 compared to iOS 18, I feel like these problems are going away slowly with each iteration of iOS 26. For example, iOS 26.5. So everyday activities like opening apps, scrolling through social media, or just messing around with the phone is not a problem at all. And things are only gonna get better with iOS 27 in the near future, as Apple has finally delivered on bug fixes and performance improvements, even to the iPhone 11. And iOS 27 users from most compatible iPhones, including the 16 Pro Max, have reported major improvements in both stability and performance. As for gaming, I'd say it's great too. Obviously, the A19 Pro on the 17 series is better, and the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 on the Android side, used by flagships like the Galaxy S26 Ultra, is the world's fastest mobile processor. But overall, in real-world gaming, I experienced no problems, lags, or slowdowns at all. One thing to note is that the phone does like to get a bit toasty, even under regular use. Moving on to software, the iPhone 16 Pro Max shipped with iOS 18, but when I got my hands on it for this video, it was already on iOS 26. Unfortunately, I can't say whether one's better or not, since my personal experience with iOS 26 on the most modern iPhone is the iPhone 13, but other iPhone 16 Pro Max users suggest that iOS 18 was a lot smoother compared to iOS 26. In my opinion, iOS 26 is pretty smooth too, as it has been out for nearly a year now, and I think it's only gonna get better with the release of iOS 27 in September 2026. As for software support, Apple guarantees at least 6 years, and even some iPhones like the iPhone 11, for example, is reaching all the way up to 7. So it's safe to say that the iPhone 16 Pro Max is going to be supported until at least 2030 or 2031 with either iOS 31 or iOS 32. So in terms of software, not only it is pretty neat right now, and it's going to get better with iOS 27, but also the iPhone 16 Pro Max is going to be supported for a long time. Okay, before I end this video, I just want to talk about Apple Intelligence, the AI that Apple has hyped up since 2023 and mid-2024. Although the iPhone 16 Pro Max came with support for a smarter Siri, and she is definitely smart and getting smarter with iOS 27. Due to the phone only having 8GB of RAM, Apple's newer and even smarter on-device foundation models with iOS 27 are not supported on the 16 Pro Max. However, this isn't something to be discouraged because, as far as I know, the only new Apple Intelligence features that are not coming with the 16 Pro Max in iOS 27 are realistic Siri voice and updated voice transcription, also known as text-to-speech. But hey, if you don't really care about AI, then this phones might be perfect for you. Now let's end this video with a verdict. Overall, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is an amazing piece of technological hardware with good performance, solid cameras, incredible display, and in terms of other specs too, it's amazing with a prolonged software support that could last until 2030 or 2031. In terms of whether you should buy or not, it depends entirely on you and what phone you're using right now. If you're using like an iPhone 11, 12, or 13, then an upgrade to the 16 Pro Max is understandable, but only if it's at a good price, since the 17 Pro Max or the 17 Pro is newer, more recent, and comes with higher RAM, allowing you to future-proof even more with Apple Intelligence features. If, however, you're already using a phone within the 14 series or later and you're looking to upgrade, then I believe the 17 Pro Max is a better choice. And what's even smarter is waiting until the launch of the 18 series in September of this year. And that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe for more amazing content like this. Until then, take care.